Good morning, artists, and welcome back to Super Happy Art Adventure Times. Today in this video I'm going to teach you how to draw an iguana using pencil and eraser and markers and watercolor paints. So you will need a water cup and brush today, as well as a pencil and eraser and a piece of paper to get started. For the iguana, you should turn your paper horizontally. So turn it to the side. I also taped two pieces of paper together, so that way I would have enough space to draw a nice big iguana. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start today with the eye shape. So the first thing we're going to draw is a small circle, like this, on our papers. Then we're going to put in a double highlight. So I'm going to put in another slightly smaller circle like that, and another one near the bottom. And then I will fill in the rest of the pupil. Over top of the eye, I'm going to put a curved line like this. Okay. Now it's time to do the iguana's snout. So from that curved line that I made over the eye, I'm going to do a straight, kind of downward sloping line going out to the side. And then I'm going to curve back in. Around and curve back in. This is kind of like the iguana's snout. Okay. And I'm going to curve in, and as I get towards the eye, I'm going to start to cut downwards. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to the snout, and I'm going to kind of do the bottom layer of the snout. So I'm going to follow this line with this line. And from this one, now I'm going to do a big curving C shape, like that bulge in the iguana's face. Now there's lots of different textures on the iguana. I'm going to add some on the face right now. So right here I'm going to put a circle. Next to the circle I'll put a crescent. Okay, and next to that crescent maybe I'll do a slightly smaller crescent, like that. So now we have the iguana's face, and now it's time to do his two front legs. So from about middle of this curving bulge, I'm going to make a line going down like this. Okay, that's the front of his body. Okay, and now I'm going to come back to his snout, and I'm going to do a wavy line like that, connecting in. So I kind of went down, curve out, curve back in, curve back out, and they meet. Okay, now it's time for the first leg. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to first do a V right here. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come up here inside his body a little bit and also curve around. Okay, this is going to become his arm. Now iguanas actually have toes. They have 5 toes. So I'm going to come down a little further here. Okay, and I'm going to do 5 toes. So the toes kind of curve out like spikes or like triangles. This one's going to curve out slightly longer. Okay, that one was a little shorter, the first one. Now this one is also long. Now I'm on 3, 4, and 5 iguana toes. They kind of look like nails. All right. So I've done this leg. Now I'm going to do this leg. He has 2 legs in the front. So I'm going to come to the front of his chest. And I'm just going to kind of do a curved line going out like that, followed by another one. Okay. Second arm. Now it's again time for the 5 toes. Curve, spike like that. This one's going to be longer, even longer, another spiky. Okay, so I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the 5th one, like that. Okay, it's 5 toes. All right, so from this top part of the eye, now I'm going to do the body, okay, going back. So I'm going to pick up here with the tummy actually where I left off. So this is the stomach down here. And now this leg is blocking a part of the stomach. So I'm going to continue on the other side with the belly. I don't draw across this arm. Okay, and I'm going to swoop the iguana back like this. He's swooping back. Okay, now I'm going to come up to his eye. And I'm also going to kind of swoop down. Make like a shallow curve. And then whoop, swoop back like that. And then we connect. And that's his big body and his big tail. Now he's missing his back leg. So I'm going to come to right about here on the body, right kind of where this starts to curve. Okay, and I'm going to make a curved C like that. And not only is the C, it's because C is going to curve out, but then it's going to curve back in. Like that. Okay, now this line is the back of the leg. It kind of follows again with a C. Curves down and then around like that. Okay, now from right here, I'm going to come like this, curve down. And now I'm going to do the 5 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the back foot of the iguana. Okay, now iguanas have all sorts of beautiful spikes on them too. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding those here, next near the eye on the back of him. Getting bigger with my spikes. And as I go down his back, the spikes are going to get smaller. He's got a few on his snout. So I'm going to come back here to his snout, do a few. Spiky, so kind of like zigzag lines. And he's got a few on top of his snout. That. And I'm going to give him a little nostril right there. Okay. And then there's some beautiful stripes on the iguana's tail. So I'm going to start curving like this, making C's. Curving. Curving. Okay, and then I can do some curves on the belly too. There we are. And now I'm ready to actually paint my iguana in. So iguana's stomachs are darker on the bottom, and then it's lighter on the top. So I'm going to do a dark green on the belly, down here, more of a dark green. There's a shadow there, it's the bottom of the belly. And I'll put in some dark green here on the front of the chest. That's where the shadows would go. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of mix in some yellow green, like a lighter green, for the other parts of the iguana, for up near here. And you can really color your iguana any way you want. Maybe your iguana is going to be red. Maybe your iguana is going to be blue. You get to choose what colors you want to use, but keep in mind that you want the belly to be a darker shade of whatever colors you're using. Okay, always getting my brush wet when I paint. Okay, painting in the yellow. I could do a different color for the spikes to really make them pop out. Okay, maybe I'll do the spikes red this time. Okay, I could do the stripes on the iguana's tail. All right, and keep painting your iguanas today. Make sure you fill in everywhere with color. If you don't want to use watercolors, you could color your iguana with markers as well. Okay, and I hope you enjoy creating and drawing an iguana for class today.